You're mediocre at best. I mean, sometimes it's good, but most times it's, eh, maybe it's time to reconsider. No, pack it up. There was a man who they said he and his team failed 1,000 times before creating the first commercially viable light bulb. Then there's another man who they said created 5,000 unsuccessful prototypes of the bagless vacuum cleaner before landing the job finally in 1983. Speaking of landings, a set of brothers, I think, started to develop a machine called the airplane somewhere in the late 1890s and did not stick that landing until 1903, they're about a billion crashes later. There are also more rumors. Rumors about a guy who wore a black turtleneck, who was forced out of his own company and then later returned. Rumors about a lady who wrote this rejected novel about an orphan who became a wizard, a colonel, and some nonsense about fried chicken. And then there's you. How many times do you have to try something before you decide to pack it up? How many rejected emails, phone calls? How many times do you have to hear, excuse me, you tried, but I'm afraid this isn't for you. I'm sorry, but this isn't going to work. How many months, how many years wasted? Never give up? Never? Never. Here's my expert opinion. Life is about finding the right set of things to repeat, and then just repeat them. But some things, the more you repeat them, the more it demands from you, and the less you get in return. Nobody can realistically say how many times you should try something before you abandon it. That is a mixture of personal preference, mental resources, and just general running costs. What we can do though is give you a general criteria for what things need to be in place for you to start considering other options. Compare yourself not to others, but to who you were yesterday. I mean, it sounds nice, but it's feel-good advice. Your potential employer doesn't care about who you were yesterday. They care about where you rank with everybody else today. You live in a world of comparison. More specifically, comparison with others. And even though comparison can get very discouraging or unhealthy, it can also serve you. Chances are you're not the first person who has ever tried to do what you are trying to do. And there is a reasonable timeline of progress that you can map based on your practice. So, use others who came before you or others alongside you to map what that progress is supposed to look like. Reasonably, not the greatest of who has ever lived. Use average benchmarks. If within your comparison you fall short, then it's time to move to the other criteria. Sometimes we fail not because of what we do, but how we do it. So, after each failure, just, take a look at your approach and see if you can make some adjustments before you return. So, this is another place where comparisons could serve you, because you could check with other people whose, progress are much better than yours, and find if they have little tricks and tactics that they use that you could implement to improve your results. Now, bear in mind, not everybody is willing to share these things, be it due to, lack of kindness, or they just don't feel comfortable with sharing stuff with you, but it is still worth a try. Now, if you're an adult, it's no secret that life might require a little bit more security and predictability. So, after the process of trying multiple strategies, if there is still no improvement, then it might not be wise to have this thing that you're going after being your only endeavor. Now, when the important things have been taken care of, that might buy you time to stubbornly return to this thing that you're so persistent about. Now, at this stage, if it feels like it's burning you out, it's costing too much time, it's impacting very important relationships, then this is the time that you need to consider stepping back. Who wants to be the world's greatest plumber, wasting their life away at being the world's most mediocre singer? Don't let ego or fear keep you stuck being rejected by something that has already told you no. Chances are you are not the next Oprah Winfrey. And for every one of those success stories, there are hundreds of broke and starving people who refuse to use common sense. It's up to you though. Yeah. On another note, giving up on a dream or a career is one thing, but how is it different when giving up on a person?